guys, so last week I was reading in a book about how if you feel good, you generally do good. The premise was that if you feel good about yourself, a lot of things happen. Like your self-esteem goes up, you feel like you can conquer more, you're probably nicer to other people, you don't get offended as easily, and so on and so on. So in this video, I'm going to share with you 6 decluttering tips for decluttering your homes that are aimed specifically toward reducing stress and increasing self-love. I think that if you do these 6 things, it'll help you to feel good in your home on a regular basis. By the way, my name is Mika and I'm a writer, and I also own a small professional home organizing business. I'm writing a book series about how to have good vibes in your home, and I'm currently working on the decluttering book. As I write, I share some of what I've written for the week on this channel. And this week I wrote about 6 tips for decluttering your home to reduce stress and increase self-love. So getting right into it. Number 1 is to let go of anything with bad memories that drops your energies. Life is full of ups and downs and experiences, and that's part of the beauty of life. And our possessions tell a unique story about us and our lives. Some items represent or were acquired during happy times in our lives, and some of those items might make you smile or you associate them with positive experiences. Many items are probably neutral, and then there's a few items that we might associate with a negative experience, situation, or person, and every time that you see it, your energy drops. Those are things that it really might be beneficial to let go of, especially if they're displayed in prominent areas where you have to see them all the time, but even if they're stored away elsewhere because your subconscious mind still knows that it's under your ownership. In terms of dropping your energies, like it doesn't have to be an item associated with a particularly negative experience or person, but it can also just be something in your space that doesn't work very well. Like, for example, if you have a coffee table that's a bit too big for this space and you keep bumping your leg on it, then it might be beneficial to let go of that one and replace it with something that's functional for your space and works well so that you won't continue to bump your leg. Because every time that you have to deal with something that's not working in your space, it's an annoyance. And so even if it takes a day or a week or even a month to fix, then it's worth it for the rest of the days that you spend in your space. So consider letting go of what's not working for you, or fix or replace it so that it does. And this will make a big difference in your daily experience. And there are things around us in our environment that we've kept around for so long that it might be worth a brief pause to think of if there's anything like this in your space. And once you identify something, you could just use your own discernment, because you and only you will know if it bothers you or not, and if you should keep the item or let go of it. There might be exceptions to this, but overall and in general, anything that makes you feel bad or drops your energies in your home or feels like a weight to you, it might be good to let it go. And you'll feel a difference, even if it's just this niggling difference, like this niggling feeling that's been there all along. Life is too short to have things in your space that make you feel weighed down. Number 2 is to keep horizontal surface areas clean, clear, and functional. This will make such a big difference in the feeling of your home. It'll provide some mental and emotional calm for you too. A big culprit of visual clutter is to have horizontal surfaces cluttered or full. And for example, if you're currently living in a very cluttered home and then you start to feel overwhelmed, that's when it's good to consider clearing off all of your horizontal surfaces of everything that's unnecessary and just keep what's visually pleasing and functional and necessary out. This really helps because our eyes get automatically drawn to horizontal surfaces, and if the surfaces are cluttered, it really amplifies the visual noise. So it'll make a big difference in the feeling of the room and calm some of that overwhelm. If you don't live in a cluttered home, but if you want to level up the feeling in the space and feel really good in there, then this is a simple and great way to keep that space visually pleasing. When it's visually pleasing, it also exudes a pleasant energy or feeling in the space. If you make this a habit to keep the surfaces clean and clear, with the exception of maybe like a few select items that have a home there, it can really make your home feel more luxurious. And it will reduce your stress in your home because there's less visual noise and the space just feels cleaner and calmer. And if you need to do something on that horizontal space, you'll have the space and functionality to use it as you please. When you finish, you can clear the space off again, which leads me to the next point. Number 3 is to have a home for everything and the habit of putting things back. If you have a home for everything and have the habit of putting things back where they belong after you're finished using them, and the other people who live in your household also have the same habit, then day in and day out, things are going to be so much less stressful. You don't have to think about where to put the items, they just innately have a home. And the space will rarely get that messy for very long because items are back in their homes when they're not in use. And the thing is, if things don't have homes, they will get left out inevitably, and it'll change the feeling of the space and then also create low-grade stress. And this is so simple, but it's a key element to making a home feel cozy and clean, and over time, it'll make a big difference in the level of ease or stress that you feel in your home. And as a side note, if you have babies or young children and you're constantly picking up, then this tip helps so much if you have homes for the items, and the dedicated homes or storage areas are really functional and located conveniently and with easy access. Number 4 is don't cram your storage spaces full. It's important for the feeling of a space to allow the energy to circulate, and then it feels more optimal. Also, if you cram your storage spaces full, it becomes more stressful and less functional. So if storage spaces aren't convenient or functional, those are 2 deterrents that keep us from putting things away back into their homes when we're finished using them. And when we move into a home, we put our storage areas into place. We determine where we'll put our things and where they'll stay. But as we live in a home, life happens and we bring things in and we take things out. Family sizes can change and hobbies and interests can change. So if you find that your storage spaces are becoming full, then take the time and energy for a declutter of things that you no longer want or need or use, things that are just taking up space. And if you find that your storage is insufficient for your needs, it's worth the time and the energy to come up with a pleasing or a creative solution that'll make your storage functional and not too full. I made an entire video dedicated to storage, and it's like the 11 storage tips that I would say kind of encompass how to have good and functional storage. So I'll link that at the end of this video. Number 5 is to tend to the kitchen. The energy of your kitchen impacts the feeling of your entire home. So this is going to sound weird, but I'm in a lot of houses, right? And over the years, I've spotted quite a few patterns on what makes homes feel nice. And this is what the book series is about. Like, I'm taking the key elements that I found and I'm writing books, guidebooks about how to accomplish each one. But one of the things that I found or I've noticed is that homes that tend to use the kitchens more, like that cook or bake a lot, they have a lot of feel-good energy to the entire home. And every home that I've been in that feels really good, the people who live there or someone who lives there usually cooks or bakes regularly. And there's that old adage that the kitchen is the heart of your home, and that rings so true. So it might be to your benefit to tend to your kitchen with love and care and make it a place that is clean with good energy and a space that's easy and fun to cook in. And then utilize the kitchen and have fun with it. So for some people, cooking nourishing meals is a stress reliever and is a form of self-love. If not cooking nourishing meals, then eating them generally is. Another reason to tend to the kitchen is to take care of your other home. Aside from the house that you live in, your body is your true home during this lifetime that will house you through this life. It's important to take care of your body, and your current and your future self will thank you. One main way to take care of your health is through your nutrition, and what you feed your body matters and impacts your overall health. So it's kind of like killing 2 birds with 1 stone. When you cook at home, it's great because you can serve yourself your preferred portion sizes and cook with the spices and flavors that are tailored to your own liking. And you know exactly what's going into your food. And when you do go out to eat, it can feel really fun and really special. Also, when your body and your health are nourished, you generally feel better, which impacts how your space feels. Number 6 is to let go of clothes that don't fit well or are uncomfortable or that don't make you feel your best. This is such a fun one, yet it can be so difficult sometimes. There are so many great clothes in the world, and most likely already in your closet too. Have you ever put on a piece of clothing and then suddenly you felt better or great, or your mood changed, or you felt attractive or happy? What we wear, the colors, the textures, the material, it's the closest thing to our body every day. And more than being superficial, I think that it could be underestimated the impact that it could have on us and how it could make us feel. There's no denying that when you dress frumpy, you feel frumpy. And when you come across a piece of clothing or an outfit that somehow authentically represents you, that's a color and a fabric and a style that you enjoy, that fits you well, it can help you to shine. There are many benefits to letting go of clothes that are uncomfortable or don't make you feel great. One is that you'll have a less full closet and energy can circulate in your closet. Your clothes can breathe and there's just better energy in there. If you think of a closet that's stuffed really full, there might be a lot of dusty, stagnant energy in there. And it is what it is, like the clothes haven't been worn in a while and energy can't circulate or chi. There's kind of like a drab feel. Then you put on clothes from that closet and then you drape yourself in it all day. Those clothes are bathed in that energy that are covering your largest organ, which is your skin. And for this reason, having a closet that's organized and functional and pleasing with breathing room, it changes the energy of the things that you're draping onto your body. And also, life is a gift and an experience. If you can wear clothes that feel great on you and experience your day, then I think it can affect your experiences during that day. So it doesn't have to be the most stylish or trendy or expensive. I think that sometimes when I say this, people associate what I'm saying with that. But it's more about, I think, wearing clothes that are authentic to you and portray your style. We express ourselves through our home and what we wear. And all of us want to be seen and accepted for who we are. Those are just two mediums of expressing ourselves. But anyways, with clothes, the more authentic that you are to your style, I think that you end up gliding through the day with more ease. Also, that your clothes are comfortable is really important. That your shoes don't hurt when they fit properly and you don't have to keep pulling up your pants or adjusting your clothing. You just want to make sure that everything fits well and comfortably and the fabric is comfortable on your skin. Also, like it or not, it's also representative of the world, to the world of who we are. And when we are comfortable and we look good, we feel good. So even with pajamas or loungewear, consider wearing what's comfortable and that you feel good in. This isn't even about going and buying more, because when you take a good look at what you already have, in almost every home that I've been in, the person already has everything that they need in their closet to feel comfortable and also feel good. Sometimes, and this is definitely not always the case, but sometimes those optimal clothes or even loungewear or pajamas, they're not being worn, but they're sitting in a closet or drawer waiting for it to be seen, like you're not wearing them because you're just waiting for the occasion. And if that's the case, consider maybe giving them a quick wash and refresh and wearing them, even if no one else is around to appreciate them, and then you might feel your mood elevate. Clothing is what sheathes us and is covering us and touching us all day, and I think that there's a lot of importance to that. So that's it for the 6 points of this video, and I hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, could you please hit the like button, as it helps more people to find my channel, and I'd really appreciate it. If you'd like to see more videos like this, please subscribe, and thank you so very much for watching. See you in the next video.